2023 was one of the best and also one of the hardest years of my life so far. It was a new challenge because I'd never been used to isolating myself and working towards my goals. So that was something new. Not really hanging out with anyone, mostly just spending the year alone working towards what I want to be. So I've picked up some very important and distinct lessons I haven't heard shared anywhere else. So I want to provide to you today my unique insights, the most important lesson I learned from each month of the year. Hopefully you can take this knowledge and apply it to next year to make 2024 the best year of your life. It's time to hit the gym. Now's a good time for the first lesson before I hit this workout. In January of 2023, I learned the power of getting out of your comfort zone. I bought a ticket to Madrid because I'd always wanted to go to Spain, and I knew if I didn't just buy it and not look back, it would never happen. So I bought the ticket, then told my family. I also didn't tell any of my friends or anything. I just decided, okay, no one's gonna talk me out of this. I'm doing it, it's happening. Bought the ticket. I actually bought the ticket before I figured out accommodation or, whether the area I was landing in is even safe or anything. I just bought the ticket. I ran straight out of my comfort zone and into the horizon, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. I had the time of my fucking life. It just opened me to the possibilities, and the world is so big, man. Traveling is huge, but that is the power of running out of your comfort zone and traveling.
All I want to do is go to the gym.
Yo boys, I'm mid-workout right now. I'll teach you the next lesson while I'm recovering. In February, I learned the importance of environment. I was in Spain from January to February. In that time, I got so much done. At that time of the year, I was pursuing SMMA. I started outreaching for the first time. I'd been trying for a few months prior, but until I switched my environment, I didn't start on any of the important messages. And in Spain, I did 20 sales calls, and I started running ads for 3 clients. So basically, the change of environment is what caused me to regain focus, because who you are right now is tied to the environment you've always been used to. As soon as you change your environment and nobody knows you, you don't have to keep up any charade that you've been acting as if you are. You can reinvent yourself. You can become someone new. And that's what I did in Spain. I was staying up till 2 a.m. working on this shit. I was outreaching consistently. I was doing sales calls consistently. I had so much growth in Spain. It was crazy. All while traveling, not to mention all the new stuff I was experiencing in Spain, new culture, all that. So it was just so much growth, and it was all because of a drastic change in environment.
I was nobody.
Alright guys, workout done. Nothing crazy, just kind of destroyed back and buys. So I already alluded to this, but lesson number 3, in March, I learned the power of isolation. When I got back from Spain, I didn't tell any of my old friends I was home. The only people who knew were my immediate family. I came back to my city. No one was asking me to hang out or any of that. I still hadn't reactivated my phone plan. I wasn't getting any text messages. It was just quiet. And I worked, and I worked, and I worked. I found this place downtown where like people can come and work. It's super cool. It's free too. And I just sat in like this little cubicle and cold called companies, booked a few meetings, and learned a lot about outreaching to companies. This ties into my point about environment, because even though I was in isolation, I was still in my old environment more or less. So I didn't work as hard as I did in Spain. I wasn't staying up until 2 a.m., which I should have. But I still made a lot of progress because there were no distractions. It was just quiet. So if you're having trouble with your achieving your goals, delete social media, find yourself a new environment locally to work in, and just ghost everyone and just go dark, as I like to call it. Go monk mode, go off grid. Anyways, I'm going to probably head for a walk, go for a nice hike. I'm enjoying time before the new year, before I go crazy again. So let's go on a little stroll, shall we? So that brings me to April, quarter of the way through 2023. In April, I learned the power of not sleeping. I learned that sleep really isn't that necessary. I think it is if you're trying to be like an athlete and like really take care of your health. But in terms of like growing a company or like growing a business, it's not that necessary. Every great entrepreneur you know has sacrificed a large amount of sleep to make something great. In April, I had a 2-week job at some gym, and I got fired. That's not important. That's a story for another day. But the lesson is, while I was at the gym, my shift started at 6 a.m. and I would go to bed at midnight, and I had a really hard time sleeping for those 2 weeks. So I just slept like 3 or 4 hours every day for like 2 weeks straight. And I felt like shit, but I still got more work done. It doesn't take that much conscious brain power to send cold emails, right? Or edit YouTube videos. It doesn't take that much brain power. So just the fact that I had more conscious hours meant that I got more done, despite, you know, probably operating at the brain capacity of a drunk person. I got more done. So sleep really isn't that necessary. Going into the new year, I'm going to be doing a few experiments with my sleep. That brings me to May. Number one, the power of mentorship. I was working for my uncle who is pretty wealthy. So just being around his mansion and, you know, cleaning his windows, cleaning his gutters, I was just doing property work on his massive house. I got to spend a lot of time with him, ask him questions. I think it's really important to surround yourself with people who are doing well in life, who they're ahead of you. You can ask them questions, you can learn from them. Super valuable. The power of mentorship. In that month, I just got so inspired and learned a lot of things, inspired for different services I could offer in my business. The last thing I started doing in May was sparring Muay Thai. I'd been training Muay Thai since August of 2022, and this year was the first time I sparred. Been sparring consistently for a couple months. It gives you a new confidence to life, because like nothing really compares to being punched in the face or kicked in the gut. So yeah, started sparring Muay Thai. May was a good month. That's a thumbnail right there. Anyways, in June, I learned the power of speed in business. So in June, I was pursuing like lawn mowing and that kind of thing as like a business to make money. But then I met with a friend who told me he was doing something called driveway sealing. That's not really the important part. The point is, it's higher ticket. You can charge more money for it than lawn mowing. Literally 2 days later, we had a meeting at McDonald's and we discussed the logistics of how we were gonna make this business happen. Driveway sealing, you can charge like $200 an hour, even more sometimes. So we made a lot of money this summer, but there was only one problem. We needed a machine worth $2,000 and we didn't have $2,000 at the beginning of the summer. So we bought the machine with a credit card in the hopes that we could pay it off. So we fucking hustled and we made it happen. With no company reputation, no previous driveway sealing experience, no customers in the pipeline, we bought the machine on credit and we got to work so that we wouldn't have to pay any interest payments on this thing. And that was the power of speed. The fact that we could have had to pay interest and credit on this thing made us move quickly. And you know, we got the machine, we got it set up within a day, we got customers the next day, we started learning the day after, and by the 4th, 5th day, we were making hundreds of dollars a day. And in our first month, in June, of driveway sealing of our new business, we made $4,000. So we paid off the machine and then some, and we learned so much. But this is a really critical lesson: speed. Think about, like, if we wanted to start driveway sealing, most people think about it for a week and then maybe start researching a week later and then maybe buy some equipment when they have the money and then maybe they'll get some customers later. We did everything within a week. Within a week, everything was done. And we were making money. June was about speed. Stayed up late, got up early, 6 a.m. Full day of work every day. We also ended up doing $1.3 thousand in one day in June. So I was super psyched about that. So June, I learned about speed. Probably the most important lesson of the year. In July, I learned the power of focus. One singular focus. I told you guys about how in January I went to Spain and stayed with a family. Well, in July, the kids in that family actually came to stay with me. They're my good friends. But my friends visiting, plus business, plus sports and gym, it was too much and I didn't really get anything done. I wasn't present with my friends, so I didn't get to enjoy the time with them as much as I would have. I didn't make as much money in the business because I was trying to hang with my friends, and I didn't make any progress athletically because everything else. I'm the kind of person who wants everything and wants it now, but unfortunately it just doesn't work that way. You have a certain amount of energy and you can put it in only so many places. Brutal lesson I learned in July. I didn't get much done. Michael Jordan wasn't trying to start an Instagram page while he was playing basketball. Hopefully that makes sense. Alright guys, I forgot to record something for August, but it was a pivotal month in my landscaping business. I had my second highest month of revenue at $6,500, all by myself, no help from my friends. Started charging higher ticket for different services and really just learning what direction I want to take the business in. Here's a spreadsheet with the breakdown of my profit and revenue. So the biggest lesson I learned from August is charge what you're worth. It kind of sucks to charge low prices. Don't compete on price. Just be the best at what you do and charge what you want. Anyways, on to September. This is a very special wall because I used to practice kicking soccer balls against here all the time. In September, I started my university career. Didn't want to, but I had to, so I did. I thought I would be further along in business than I was, but I wasn't. So started a kinesiology degree still technically a student there, even though I'm not taking any classes currently. It is what it is. But it helped me learn that that's not the life I want to live. So it motivated me to see all the people who are content to get 9 to 5s and to work for the rest of their life. That wasn't me. So that motivated me a lot, actually. Maybe it was necessary that I had to go to uni for a brief period to see exactly the life I don't want to live. So that was September. Oh man, it's cold today. In October, I turned 19 and I learned that regret weighs heavier than discipline. The pain of regret stays with you a lot longer than the pain of doing the things you're afraid of or know you should do but aren't doing. Specifically, I was on the bus one day going to university in October, and me and this girl kept making eye contact, and she was just my type, bro. She was so cute, smart dressed, fucking one of those trench coats on, bro. She was so cute. And I fumbled it. I didn't say anything, right? I didn't say anything. I didn't ask her for her Instagram or anything. I didn't go up and introduce myself. And it might seem like a small incident, but I pride myself on doing things I don't want to do and doing hard things and being a hard worker, and not doing something I was afraid of doing just made me feel like a coward for weeks. And honestly, still to this day, like, I still think about it sometimes, where it's like, you have to seize every opportunity you have. You know, maybe I would have gone over to her and got shot down, but I could live with that far more than, you know, living with the feeling of what if. So yeah, I think regret, not only with women, I'm not just speaking about women, but like in anything, in business, in life, regret will always take more of a toll on you than doing the thing you're afraid of, or doing the thing you want to do but just don't know if you can do. Alright guys, I've just been editing this video. November, which was only a month ago, I learned the power of belief. Basically, I've mentioned a few times that I have a landscaping side hustle business in the summer. I charge like between $200 and $1,000 per project, right? There's this one service in landscaping called interlock, which is like basically patio stones. Just picture like stones outside. I thought it was impossible. I thought it was really hard to learn how to do because there were so many steps involved, and you would have to rent like a machine and find out if there's any cables, internet cables or plumbing underneath where you're digging. I just thought it was like really hard service to learn, and I thought I could learn to do it in like 4 years or something after college. But with the power of mentorship, one of my friends actually showed me he was doing interlock, and he's only 2 years older than me. And I went to work for him in November, and he taught me how to do interlock. For context, he charges like a minimum $5,000 a project. I think his biggest one was like $20,000 this year. So it's a very good service to offer, really good service. And now I know how to do it. It's a very high ticket service you can offer in landscaping. That's what you need to know. I thought because I attached so much value to it, like, oh, this is such a big, expensive service, it must be really hard to learn. Once my friend showed me how to do it in his company and I worked for him for a month, it became very clear to me that nothing is impossible and nothing is even as hard as it seems. If you have a mentor, if you have a coach, if you have the right belief, if you break things down into its simplest components, nothing is that hard to learn. So now I know how to do interlock. So the first month I started working with this guy, we partnered up and we did $13,000 in revenue. So to close off the year, had my highest month of revenue in the business. Of course, we split the profit, but it was a very good sign that good things are coming. So the power of belief. Nothing is hard. Nothing is too hard to learn. Nothing is impossible. It's all up here. So that was a really good way to roll into December.
That's all I wanted.
Speaking of December, I started going all in on my YouTube channel, and we are heading into the new year with near enough 100 subs. You can see there, we're at 97. So the last really crucial lesson I learned this year is any business works. The best business to start, and the lesson that I've learned this last month of the year, is that anything works. Anything you set your mind to can work. If there's a millionaire been made in the industry you want to pursue, it works. It's possible. So when you're struggling to decide where to put your energy, should I put it into this business, that business? Should I put it into growing following online? Should I put it into starting a coffee shop? Should I put it into starting a YouTube channel? When you don't know where to put your energy, just decide what you want to do, because all of them can work. I was worried about which avenue has the most potential to take off, but that's not the concern, because every business has the potential to take off. What you enjoy doing and what you will stick to for 5 years is the best business to start. It's kind of a sigh of relief, because I can stop putting my energy in so many places, and I know what I want to focus on, which is YouTube and SMMA. Now I know what you're thinking, that's 2 things, but the YouTube really only takes me like a day per week, if that. So not a huge deal. And I'm basically just documenting what I'm already doing. So those were 12 really important lessons I learned this year. I feel like 2023, I've had the most growth of any year of my life. 2024 is going to be even better, because I can take the knowledge I've learned this year and put it into next year and build on it. And I hope you guys subscribe and come along for the ride, because I want to inspire you to do the same. I'll be making a video of my 2024 goals coming soon, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do, but share below for everyone else what your biggest lessons were this year. I think we can help a lot of people. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Until next time, be the best version of yourself.